the quantitative section. In other words, math. I realize just saying that can be intimidating for some people, can bring up some anxiety, especially if you haven't done a whole lot of math since high school. So first of all, I'll just say take a nice deep breath. If you're not intimidated by math, so much the better. But if you are intimidated by math, don't worry. Magoosh has a large complement of lessons concerning math, so that even if you haven't touched math since high school, we can get you in shape for the GMAT. So don't worry. Right now, we're just going to talk about how this section is organized. How is this section organized? Well, the quantitative section of the GMAT is the third section on the test. You will have 75 minutes for 37 questions, which is about 2 minutes per question. The quantitative section of the GMAT contains only 2 question types. The first is problem solving. Problem solving is just ordinary 5-answer multiple choice. You've seen this before, you've seen it on the SAT, basically you've seen this on every standardized test you've ever taken in your life. 5-answer multiple choice. So this should not be particularly new. The other type, though, is unique to the GMAT, data sufficiency. The prompt asks a question without giving enough information to answer the question. The prompt is followed by 2 statements, and we have to determine for each statement, does the statement allow us to answer the question? In other words, does it give us sufficient information to answer the question? So there's a big difference here. On problem solving, the big question is really the standard math problem question. What is the answer? That's the focus on problem solving. That's not the focus on data sufficiency. On data sufficiency, the big question is, do we have enough information to determine the answer? And in fact, many times you can answer that question without actually calculating the answer. There are many times that doing the full calculation is actually a trap on the data sufficiency. So there's a whole mindset that you have to develop when you're doing data sufficiency. We actually have a whole video module talking about the data sufficiency question and all the unique features of this question, all the strategies and the mindset that you need to approach this question. Right now, I'll just point out that there is this other kind of question. On a typical GMAT, there are 14 to 16 data sufficiency questions, 21 to 23 problem-solving questions approximately. They're jumbled up. Another salient point to realize is there's no calculator allowed on the GMAT quantitative section. One concrete thing that means is right now, when you start practicing math, do not touch a calculator. Get yourself in shape so that you're comfortable doing simple addition, subtraction, multiplication, division in your head. You have to get those mental math gears working because that's what you'll need on the day of the GMAT. Topics on the GMAT quantitative section. So here at least we list some math topics here. They can ask you about number properties, ratios, proportions, percent, statistics, counting, probability, algebra, geometry and coordinate geometry, assorted word problems, and data interpretation and graphs. So there's no trigonometry and no calculus. Again, all of these topics are covered in great detail in the Magoosh video lessons. So if there's anything here that you haven't thought about for a while or anything here that seems perfectly new, don't worry, we'll cover it in those lessons.